Can you dig it, nigga? Sucker, sucker!
Can you dig it, suckers? How you doing, fight fans? EJ Boxing Live here. Another Wednesday night prediction hangout with some of the best guys here on YouTube. We have Gus making his debut here on EJ's Boxing, and from the Boxing Voice. We also have Nata. You know, Nata knows all the lightweights, and we have got Miguel. Miguel's been dying to come over so we can have a great hangout. All right, we're going to talk about some news happening in the week. The first news we're going to talk about is Hekkie Budler losing his belt. Who do you usually do again, Nata? What's the guy's name?
Byron Rojas of Nicaragua.
Yeah, Nata, Nata's going to give us his take on that. I was surprised Hekkie Budler lost this fight because, in my opinion, he lost the fight on the last guy to the African dude, but he got outpointed and lost his belt. Now, give everyone your take on that. And
yeah, I mean, Butler's had a couple of close calls in the past too. I mean, he won the fight. He won his title close against Nkosnati Joyi, initially when he first won the belt. And he also got dropped by Chao Chong Chao in their fight, but he managed to beat him pretty clearly. But Rojas, I mean, pretty much did what you would want to do against a slickster like Budler. He just swarmed him with combination punches, and he used a lot of feints to feint Budler into a certain position, and then a throw combination at him while he was in that same spot. He also utilized a really good high guard. Budler really couldn't get a good clean shot on him. And, I mean, he cut him also. He cut him over the eye. Butler's had a little bit of scar tissue from some of his recent fights, and Rojas cut him wide open and, had him bleeding. And he was just able to just rough him up on the inside and just outwork and outbox him at the same time. I mean, the scorecards were close, 113, 115 on all three cards. But I think Rojas probably beat him a little bit more clearly than those cards would actually show. But Rojas did an excellent job, though. I mean, he came in there as a 25-1 underdog.
Wow.
And he upset the champion. So.
Flipping hell, man. Oh, God. Missed out on some money there, bud. All
Definitely.
right. Yeah. Another news we talk about: Roy Jones fighting a casual fan for, was it 100,000? Was it?
Yeah.
100,000. Yeah. Go ahead, Gus. Give us your take on that, man.
Yeah, he was an MMA fighter. Bizarre. You're talking about one of the greats, 4-weight world champion, probably the best middleweight I think I've ever seen, and you can even put Marvin Hagler in that category. Even went up to heavyweight to beat John Ruiz, and now, he's fighting. He fought a fighter who never fought a professional fight before for £100,000 after getting systematically destroyed in all of his previous fights, certainly against Macronelli up in Russia. I just thought the whole thing was almost comical to the extent, and it was actually on pay-per-view. The bizarre thing, I think it was $11 or something. I really would like to know how many people actually bought that. I don't know if you guys got any figures, but you got to have been stoned or drunk to have bought that fight, I think.
I think some of the MMA guys, because he had Michael Bisping and Chael Sonnen, and he had MMA on the card as well. Also, they had J.R. Ross, who does the commentary. He was on the commentary, so they had a lot of celebrities there.
I know there was a lot of hype that it got on YouTube though. I saw like a few dozen different YouTubers and stuff like calling Roy Jones out because they wanted to be the guy that he fought.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of like casuals and shit like that just bought it for the hell of it to see like, oh, let's see how a regular guy does against a
the crossover appeal. Yeah.
They actually did a vote actually on online to pick who the fans had to pick. They had a short list, and the fans actually picked who they wanted to see. So I think it was like people wanted to see.
Well, one good thing this does show though is it shows that even like a guy that's like a way past his prime, not contender level anymore boxer could beat the living shit out of any regular guy out there.
Yeah. That knockout was sweet though, wasn't it?
It was a good knockout, yeah.
The knockout was good, man. What was it? Was it a fake left and hit him with the right, or the fake left? And
he feinted the left, hit him with the overhand right, and then.
Yeah, it was nice. It was beautiful. still got quick hands. You know, against a casual, you can see the guy was stunned at the start. So, any other news? Hey, Miguel, we got any other news in the world of boxing before we close out?
No.
Let me see if Gus. I'm
Well,
sure
there
Gus.
was what's his name? That Lucas Browne tested positive.
Oh yeah. God, let me hear Miguel's comment. Miguel, what do you think about that one? Lucas Browne and the drug taking.
Man, I don't know, man. I hit Nelta on that when I saw it and asked him what's going on that. I mean, is it common? I know we saw that there's rumors about Prevekin. I want to do bottom, and now this guy Lucas Browne coming out positive. You know, doesn't look good. You know, for just in general for the sport of boxing. You know, it kind of sucks. You know, because it puts like a little black spot on the sport. You know, a little bit because I'm sure you know there's a lot of fighters out there that are probably not being fair. You know, like any other sports, but still, you know, unfortunately, it's sad when you see something like that going down. You know. At the end of the day, you know, all these fighters going there and they put their life in jeopardy, you know what I mean? And I don't think it's fair for a guy to go in there dirty just to get some kind of advantage, you know what I mean?
From my understanding, it was a substance directed at sort of reducing weight or cutting fat, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, that's one of the uses for it. Clenbuterol is mainly used like for asthma sufferers, but it can increase cardiovascular. Not effort, but capacity. It allows you to basically take in more oxygen and get your blood more oxygenated. So that would help with stamina, and then also just the fat burning effects would allow you to metabolize more fat while you're exerting yourself. So basically, it's twofold. It allows you to take in more oxygen and burn fat while you're doing so. So that would allow you to basically create two fuel sources between fat and carbohydrate. And it's almost like putting a supercharger on a sports car, for instance. It'll just give you just that extra bit of pep in your step, and you'll be able to go in there and fight harder. And that might have helped him too, because in the past Browne's had some stamina issues, and against Shagayev, he went in there and he pretty much just out staminaed him, because Shagayev was tired by the end of it, and Browne was still coming on.
James Toney as well, the same thing.
Yeah. So.
Wow. So what do you think, Gus? You reckon he did it, or what's your take on it?
It's when you know Lucas Browne, EJ. You know what I mean. I know him certain aspects. Been trying to follow his career and whatever. And he seems like a genuine individual who obviously had aspirations. We got a lot of this. We got Luis Ortiz as well. This Cuban as well, who's considered to be probably the best out of all of them at the moment as well, with past sort of indiscretion. So what I'd like to know is that after his fight with Shagayev, the drug testing that was done before and after, and it was definitely done before, I know that for a fact, there was no indication of any foul drug testing then. So exactly, what are the implications? Exactly when did this test occur, and when was the findings actually published initially? Because from my understanding, it wasn't before the Shagayev fight. So is it something subsequent? It's the bizarre thing you don't really know at the moment.
It's a good point, man. I don't know, man.
I'm bringing up the story right now to see what Browne and Hatton were saying.
I can tell you what, man. A lot of people just think that it's a mistake. They're not having it because Luke is such a nice guy. But in the same breath, when Tarver and some other guys have been caught, they already just condemned them straight away. A lot of other fighters, as soon as they found out they've been taken, they just throw them underneath the bus. But Lucas is no, we can't.
And there's you're right, and there's no ambiguity, because I think this drug has actually been on the banned list for quite a long time. So he would have known about it in the past, and if he has been taking it in the past, then surely he would have tested positive years ago. Because he claims he's been taking it for a while, or I don't know what he said. He was taking something.
According to this press release I'm looking at right now, it says, quote from Lucas Browne: "Prior to today, I had not heard of the drug clenbuterol and had no idea what it was used for." That's what he said.
The thing is, Lucas, I actually interviewed him, and Lucas type of guy, yeah, he kind of said he trains himself. He doesn't have no trainers, and even though he's Ricky Hatton promoters, he has a lot of training. He kind of trains himself. So if that's the case, he probably thinks he's got it on lock. He don't know what he's putting in his body, and you got to know.
A bit of naivety, yeah.
Yeah, this is the sort of thing you pay your trainers for, and you have a team around you to protect you. So if he's been taking shortcuts in it, this has cost him a world title. Now, another thing I was thinking, with the David Hay thing, he threw David Hay underneath the bus. He might have to be looking to take that one, mate. Because if the WBA say you can't fight for their belt no more, well, you might have to. But I don't know if David Hay will take it now. You know, because David Hay was trying to get a ranking, so it's thrown a lot of things out of whack. I might think of calling Lucas Browne, but I don't know if he'd pick up and he'd be interested to talk to me because he's actually seeking legal counsel at the minute. So I don't think he'd be able to at liberty to say anything. I mean, I could call him, but whether he'll pick up and have a conversation about it, I'm not too sure.
Well, it looks like they have the option to have him test the B sample. If the B sample comes back negative, then he'll be cleared. But if not, then there's a good chance that he's getting stripped.
Yeah.
To me, we was talking about it. So it's so which one is it? VADA or WAD? Which one is it?
Yeah, it was VADA, the voluntary.
Okay, VADA, like this. What's the percentage of usually the first A cell comes in the B cell? It's usually have they ever made a mistake in that? Does anyone know about that? Like,
I think that I'm pretty sure I've read it at least one occasion that the B samples come back negative, so they've been able to overturn.
One boxer, or is this different sport?
No, it was in boxing, but
athletics.
I can't remember exactly who it was, though, to be honest with you.
So maybe the slim. No, I'm thinking these guys are quite good. Alright, man. It shows you that. You know, Mayweather brought it at the time years ago with the Pacquiao thing, clearing up boxing. But hey, man.
Well, you know, the funny thing about it though is because of the fact that the thing is that these drug testing agencies aren't connected with the sanctioning body, and they're not connected with the commission. So technically speaking, even if the B sample comes back positive, the commission could just say, "Oh no, the decision stands. You won the fight." Yeah. And and that'll be that, but then the WBA could also say, "Oh well, the decision stands, but he tested positive, so we're stripping."
Who paid for it?
Or they could go the other way and say, "Well, no, screw it, the decision stands, so he's the champion." You know what I mean?
Someone had to pay for it. Who was paying for it? Was WBA paying for it? Who paid for it?
For VADA, I think it was Browne. I think it was Browne himself.
Oh God! So he paid for it to make sure Shagayev wasn't to make sure Thingy wasn't cheating, right?
Yeah, man, I'm pretty sure that they requested it in the contract.
Because in the Russian Federation they pretty much suspended all of their drug testing.
Yeah.
So he fucked himself up there, right? Shit, man. Damn.
I mean, it's like it reminds me of.
How can you request it?
It reminds me of Berto Ortiz, or Berto requested it and then he popped.
Yeah, how can you request it and fucking fail? No, man, I don't know what to say. Any other news? Any other related news in boxing, guys?
The undercard. You heard about the undercard, right? Of the Canelo count.
Go ahead. I don't know that. Yeah, tell us the fights on undercard of Canelo and Carl.
The fight, I think it's gonna be Herrera versus what's that guy?
Frankie Gomez.
Frankie Gomez. That's gonna be
Versus
a good one.
Frankie Gomez versus Mauricio Herrera.
Oh, really? That's a good fight.
Yeah, that's a very good fight.
So Gomez is coming in for Lucas Matisse here, who was probably due to have that fight, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, I like this fight better because Herrera, the Gomez, he's been needing to step up, and then that's a good opponent for him. That's a very good.
What do you think? I mean, what do you think? Do you think that's gonna be a hard fight?
I think Gomez is too big and strong for Herrera, to be honest with you. I think Herrera is a very good boxer, a very good stylist. He could really out-slick a lot of guys, but I think a guy that's physically stronger than him, the way Gomez is, will be able to just bully him. And Gomez isn't a bad boxer himself.